Yesterday, President Biden stopped at Chicago's O'Hare Airport to meet with the mayor there, Lori Lightfoot, about the city's surge in violent crime. The meeting came after a violent holiday weekend where an officer and 2 federal agents were shot and wounded in broad daylight. And just days after, this child right here, this student, a University of Chicago student, a rising junior, died after being hit by a stray bullet on a city train. Our next guest is also a student at the University of Chicago, and she wrote an op-ed calling out the mayor's soft on crime policies. Her name is Audrey Unverfurth, and she joins us now. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Thank
you so much for
You're
having
welcome.
me.
I know you didn't know Max Lewis. He was heading to an internship at a finance firm. He was from Denver. His parents sent him off to college, and he's not going to come home. He was killed there in Chicago. How is the school reacting, and what are your friends saying?
We're all just so incredibly devastated. I mean, it's just so senseless. And as you say, I didn't know him personally, but his face is familiar to me. His name was familiar. He's someone who I know. I passed on the quad countless times, and everyone in the community just says he was such a light in their lives. Like, his friends have been speaking out, saying he was just so humble and so kind. He was the president of his fraternity. He was double majoring. He had a really bright future ahead of him. He was so involved in the community. And as you say, he was just viciously and senselessly gunned down on his way home from his summer internship. He was struck in the back of the neck, and he was 20 years old. And it's so devastating. And I'm so very sorry. It's just heartbreaking.
I want to read a quote from your op-ed. You said, "I've ridden the CTA countless times. When my friends and I board the train, we shouldn't fear that we'll be murdered by a stray bullet. When we sit down on the bus, we shouldn't worry that we'll be knifed to death. That's absurd. Thanks to the incompetence of Lightfoot, this lunacy has become a reality." Joe Biden was there shaking hands with her on the tarmac. Do you think the two of them will do anything about this?
I fear they won't. I hope they will, but I fear that yesterday was just more empty platitudes, more promises that won't be kept. I mean, Lori Lightfoot had the nerve recently to say that crime in Chicago is on the decline. That's a blatant lie. Crime is not on the decline. Homicides and shooting rates are up. And as we've seen, Chicago had its most murderous weekend of the year over the 4th of July. Over 90 people were shot. And I fear that was just an opportunity for a photo op yesterday with President Biden, and I don't have confidence in Lightfoot anymore.
Well, Audrey, I know you're planning to go back for your senior year. God bless you, and stay safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. You did an excellent job. You have a bright future.
Thank you.
All right, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio celebrating the essential workers of the pandemic in a Hometown Heroes ticker tape parade yesterday. But some of the city's first responders say the event, which was scaled back because of the heat, was not what they were hoping for. Here to explain, 13-year veteran of New York City's Emergency Medical Services paramedic, Liana Espinal. Liana, what is your complaint about yesterday's very hot celebration?
Good morning. So my complaint about yesterday's celebration is it's a clear sign that we needed to be celebrated, that we put in a lot of work, the first responders and all the essential workers. But giving us a parade just shines light on how much we need a raise, we need more money. The thank you and the praise and the parade is nice, but it just doesn't put food on the table, and it doesn't allow us to take care of our families.
Right, and they didn't give you a day off to attend, right?
No, definitely not.
So you lose a day's pay to go to a parade that's in honor of you. So in turn, what was it been like for the last year for you in particular?
Working through COVID was very difficult for many reasons. It was difficult because we saw more deaths than we'd ever seen before. It was difficult because some of us were separated from our families. It was difficult for a lot of people because they couldn't separate from their families. They risked putting their families in danger. They lost family members. You know, it was very mentally and emotionally and physically stressful for us as a whole, not just for myself.
And if you want to see appreciation, show us in the pay, now with a parade.
show us in the pay, not with the parade. Allow us to be able to take care of our families without having to work 80 hours a week. You know, you can't take care of your family and not be there for them because you have to be at work so much.
Yeah, absolutely, Cobb. I know Cobb said the same thing. I got to go home, but I got to stay away from my family because I have no idea what I was exposed to a mysterious virus. We still don't know where it came from. The mayor's office was asked to respond to the criticism. They say New York gathered in celebration for essential workers through the darkest times. It was the kickoff the summer New York City deserves. It was the least we could do for our hometown heroes. This parade was about them, but they didn't give you a day off and they haven't increased your pay. We appreciate you. I hope you feel a little of that because you certainly deserve it. Liana Espinal, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.